What's up, guys? Okay, it's John. Sorry, I had to do that just because I feel like shit. So you guys must hear me feel like shit. Gravekeepers, January 2014. This changed one card from last format to this format, and I'll tell you what it is because it's the same exact deck as it is last format. It's the Fiendish Chain. How I've said I've wanted to run two of them and drop one Mirror Force. I got a second Fiendish Chain. I broke down and bought 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon structure decks. Got the Fiendish Chain from there. Congratulations me, I'm happy. This is now a complete deck. I was hoping to get Super German, but yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. But I will go through this. If anyone has seen the one from last format, that's the only card that changed. Everything else is exactly the same. The banlist did not even touch this deck. In last format, I trolled the living shit out of everybody. I was undefeated with any dragon deck, and like any deck, I would always come out with first place against. Well, when I played against them, so it's not that they suck. They're good players, but they don't know how to play around this deck, and I have to say this is my favorite deck of last format, just because everyone that thought that they can sink all that money into their dragon rulers and then all of a sudden get beaten by this, which you can seriously put together for under $100, especially now that a lot of the extra deck is reprinted and in supers and just structure decks and stuff, so they're only a couple bucks each, so that's awesome. We'll go on to the deck profile. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I have a feeling this might change a little bit throughout the format as new cards show up, but I'm not sure exactly. So you have 3 Commandant. Believe it or not, it's actually called Commandant, so I've been pronouncing it wrong the whole time, and an 8-year-old girl told me that. I felt stupid. It was awesome, though. 3 Gravekeeper Spy, of course, you have to. 3 Recruiter, and if anybody... because the whole point of this is to have Necrovelli in hand and on field. If anybody is having a hard time where you're like, oh, I don't draw a Commandant or a Necrovelli and I'm stuck, and you have a Spy, there's a really easy way to get around that and add 1 to your hand within your next turn. It's set your Spy, search your Recruiter, add the Commandant, and you should be set. It's really simple. Just little things like that help a lot. I run the 2 Descendant. I used to say I would run it at 1. Now I don't because I need it a second time. I don't like running it a third time because I usually will have him in hand and 1 in deck. So if I had another 1 in deck, it's useless to me. I don't go through this a lot. I really don't. And if they get rid of it, I always have my Steely. So yeah, 1 Gravekeeper's Assailant. I would not change it. I don't use them really, so 1 is good enough. But there are times where I do like to use them. Sorry, I did not realize I was doing that. Just because of the fact that he's a really dick card to play. So you just have Necrovelli in field and just go attack, change that one to attack position, and then I'm going to keep swinging over that guy, and my other guy will beat over that. And it's just really cool how you can use this effect to your advantage. Here we go. 2 Maxi. I like Maxi. It's that extra draw power that the deck needs. I played him at 1 last format for a little bit, didn't like it, never saw him, and I really wish I had 2 at the time, so I put in my second one. And it's so funny to watch people attempt to power through a Maxi because it's the worst idea anyone can ever have. So yeah, don't do it. If you have someone drop a Maxi and you do not do it unless you know you can win that turn, regardless of whatever's in their hand. And a lot of times it's a Swift Scarecrow, especially with the builds later in this format. 1 Malefic Stardust Dragon. Some people play 2. I don't play 2. I play 1. Here's why. I like my Cyber End Dragon because he's a 4,000 beat stick. It's half of someone's life points at 1 shot. So if they get over this, which is my biggest monster, and I can't get a way to pop the monster, get him off the field, this is my next shot. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't even use him a lot. He is a last resort kind of thing. I've had him where I drew into him on the first turn, and I was going second. Instead of playing this, I played smart, went around things, and this is that one big monster you just hold on to. Because there's so many times where I would get lazy and reckless just in testing the deck that I would just drop it anyway, and they got rid of him real quickly. So you don't want to drop him unless you have a way to. They're like, this is the last shot. Like, they are at 4,000 life points. They don't have anything. Summon, attack. It's done. You know, that's how I usually play him. Or if there's just no other way to get around something, play him. You know, try to weed out the back row. I like the T-King. Very, I can't say anti-meta because it's only at 1. So it's very techy of a card to play in this deck, and I'll actually side him out if I'm going second most of the time. Like with I think it's Royal Tribute, I'll side him and Royal Tribute out most of the time, just because he's only good going first to me. But when you open with him and Necro Valley and a few back row, then your opponent is really stuck. They really are. Like they can't search, add to hand. They can't do anything with the graveyard because of Necro Valley. It literally locks down the deck. So going first and you open that with Necro Valley or a way to get it, it's pretty much the nuts. I've had it where I've done Ryo, Necro Valley, set 4, and then play my Royal Tribute. And that was his entire hand. And he was playing Dragon Rulers, or Elemental Dragons, or whatever you want to call them. But he's like Scoop, and he couldn't even play against me anymore because he didn't want to. But yeah, those were fun. And then Necro Valley. Sorry guys about the glare. It's not really. I'm trying to find a good spot in the apartment, and it's pretty hard to do. 3 Necro Valley, of course, you have to. Anyone that plays less is an idiot, or you just don't have it. 2 Steely. I like Steely a lot. It is useful, especially since it gets around, Necro Valley's effect. It just says so in its own effect, and it gives you a way to recycle your Gravekeepers. I played it with 1 because I only had 1 at the time, wishing I had that second one. Believe it or not, that second one makes a huge difference. Royal Tribute, it's at 1, play it. Side it out if you're not going first. I can't lie to you about that because it's useless unless you're going first. Like, if you're going second first game because you lost a dice roll, oh fucking well, just keep it in if you're going first the next round. You know, it's not that hard, but it's just one of those easy cards you can give up. It's not a big deal. Your deck doesn't revolve around it, but it does give it a lot of power. 3 MST, unfortunately. Well, I can't say unfortunately. I'm kind of happy they got rid of Monster Reborn and Heavy Storm, because those were really ridiculous. So 3 MST to weed out the back row. More for your search engine, or your jigging into your deck, is 3 Pot of Duality. 3 Pot of Greed, yeah, that's great. Absolutely amazing. Be smart when you play it. Like, if you have T-King in hand, like, I know a lot of people are like, well, how are you going to play it if you have a Thunder King on the field? Well, don't be stupid, you know? Play Pot of Duality, and then summon T-King. Come on, it's not hard to do, but some people just don't get simple shit like that, so yeah. This is my tech card, Lance. I used to play a Spellbook of Wisdom for all of about 45 seconds into a duel, because I couldn't target my opponent's monsters when I wanted to, and all of my monsters are not Spellcaster. So, I wanted to do this, and it helps so much more. I like it a lot more. I would not put a Wisdom in here for the life of me, or for the life of anybody else. I don't really care. It's not going to go in here. Book of Moon, absolutely amazing, especially when you go Flip Spy, Book him, and then do a couple other crazy things, but I don't really do it that often. So yeah, that's it for the spells. Go into traps. 2-Dimensional Prison, awesome cards. This is the one card I changed. I added 1 Fiendish Chain because I finally got one. So yeah, 2 of those. 1 Mirror Force. I don't like 2. Your opponent automatically thinks that if you play 1, you play 2. I know I do that every now and then, but it's just you don't use it a lot, because some people will be really good players and read through a Mirror Force, and then you'll play it and they're like, ha, I knew about it, now I know you possibly got another one. So they'll continue to play around a Mirror Force that doesn't exist. So it's really a mind game, but I like to play it at 1 anyway. I don't find it as useful as I would Fiendish Chain. So yeah, you get 1 Solemn Warning because it's at 1, Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulsory Evacuation Device, and 1 Torrential Tribute. Believe it or not, I don't play this, Bottomless very often. I don't, because I'll wait to use it. I wait to use a lot of my traps, but this is a very, very, very control-y deck. Which I think is really good. I personally like it because it allows me to control the field, and that's what I want in a deck. I like to be able to do that. But you need to learn to play conservative. You can't just if you're one of those players that just likes to swarm the field, this is not the deck for you. If you're like one of the players that wants to be skilled at something, is able to slow down, not continuously swarm the field, just do what you need to do to get rid of certain things, this is definitely that deck. This is a very graveyard and field controlling deck. I really love it. This is why I think it was the best deck of last format, if you had any good players play it. Unfortunately, there was no one that wanted to play it because dragons were everywhere still. Alright, so extra deck. Rank 3s, you got your Zen mains. Levier, Leviathan, Giga Brilliant, Roach is... we're going into the rank 4s now. Roach, Gem Knight Pearl. Honestly, I have never used it. Can't even say that I will ever use it, because the only reason I had it was for Evil Swarms, and I never played against them. But I'm assuming they're really not that hard to deal with. Abyss Dweller, Utopia, Photon Papal Operative, Black Ship of Corn, Cowboy, Maestroke. This is a new one I put in here. I was experimenting with Key Beetle Lockdown. I didn't like it. It was very iffy, and plus I would never normally do that in anything. So I replaced it with Diamond Direwolf. Love it. This is that thing that if you can't get around it any other way, and you don't have the resources for it, just overlay 2 Spy or something and blow it up anyway. For your Malefics, you have your Cyber End Dragon and your Stardust Dragon. I know a while back I was doing 2 of each. I was experimenting with siding into a Malefic build. Didn't work out very well, not consistent. And plus, I just never really used them that often. So, that is it. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any suggestions, go ahead. But the deck is completely done. Tweak it to however you want to when you play it. Any questions on how to run it? Because I know this is a very skilled deck to play. It's not easy anymore, especially since over the years the ban list has been getting rid of certain things on it, and it's not as derpy as anything else. So yeah. Any questions on it, please ask. I will be more than happy to answer them. Merry Christmas to everyone. I mean, you can leave suggestions if you want, but it's done. It's not changing, and if it does change, it's just under my terms. But yeah, go ahead, subscribe, comment, like the video if you do. If not, whatever, go on. And hopefully this helped out a lot. But this is probably my favorite deck of last format that I played. And I've only played 3. So, yes, awesome. Until next time. Deuces.